This old house at Henley-on-Klip, now that is just half an hour's drive out of Johannesburg, is a place called Off the Rails, and it holds a very interesting story. The original structure was a wooden structure, which they say was probably an officer's billet or accommodation for the British officers in England, and they even say it might even been a bit of a hospital. But anyway, it was shipped to South Africa, put back together at Henley-on-Klip, and well, it's had a whole long history, this old house. But the previous owner, Sherry, has since passed away, and there's now a new owner, Kevin. And I went and had a chat with him a little bit about the house.
It was imported in knockdown form from Henley-on-Thames.
A wooden
and
house.
Put up to safeguard the railway. Oh. Sorry, we're busy with renovation, so we haven't done much. This was the early dining room sector. I think there's 6 chimneys in the building, but the design came from England.
Okay, so this would have been the lounge sort of area?
This would be the lounge come
yes. What is
retirement.
Through there?
This was, we think, the office of the colonel, but I need to just break that lock off to get in there at some stage. We haven't got in here yet.
Really? But it looks like it's been set out almost
yes.
in museum style, hey?
Yes, and there's some books there that are over 100 years old. That's why it's under lock and key.
Oh, really?
So we just got to source.
So there's a huge amount of history here.
Yes.
So Kevin, what made you interested in this place?
I used to come here and support it.
Yes.
And
it's a bar there, I saw when we walked in. Yes, so you were just a normal patron.
And eventually we ended up, after Sherry had passed away, we ended up buying it.
So who's Sherry?
Sherry Higgins was the owner, and she had it for 20 years. There's a dungeon. Let me take you through there. Okay. Got your head on the top. This is the dungeon.
Okay.
This was in the early days of the Boer War.
Yeah.
This they used for a hospital. And a mortuary.
So this was the hospital. Okay, and the mortuary. That's not a good sign for a hospital.
And it was all in one. And there was a tunnel coming from the blockhouse.
A blockhouse? What is that?
The English forts to safeguard the railway.
Okay, so where was the blockhouse?
There's one 9 kilometers away, but there may have been one closer.
Okay.
But the tunnel that goes from here, there's a Dolomite tunnel.
Yes.
That goes all the way to the blockhouse.
Where
they carried their soldiers.
Okay, is there like a
soldiers through?
Is there something here where would that tunnel begin?
It was here.
Wow. Look at that. Is that what? That hole over there?
Yes,
is that the beginning of the tunnel?
That was the beginning, and then they closed up.
Fantastic. Have you ever gone and found out about that tunnel?
By the time when I arrived here 10 years ago, the tunnel was already closed off.
It
was too dangerous for people to walk in there.
Okay, so I suppose obviously the tunnel was that the troops could go through and then get into the blockhouse.
That's right, and that was what they were saying. The tunnel went all the way to the blockhouse. Blockhouse.
Old places always have other kind of stories, weird ones, hey?
Yes. And this one has got reputed to have 2 or 3 ghosts that roam. The ghost of a small girl, a young girl, a soldier, and a normal person that's dressed in an old shabby coat.
Is it? Have you had any encounters yourself?
I've had 1 or 2 experiences, but haven't seen anybody.
Okay.
I think that is part of the charm of the place. It's the old mixed with the new, and a lot of history.
Yeah.
A lot of history. This should have been a national monument.